Hey guys, video number 2 in our series here of setting up the new hydroponic for the year. Change of plans. We're not doing the lettuce system. We're going to be doing the Kratky today. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So change of plans today. We're not going to do the lettuce as the number 2 system. We're going to do the Kratky today. The reason we're doing that is because my peppers, seedlings here, are pretty much getting to a size that they need to get transplanted. So this is going to be priority number 1 because the tomato that are right here should be planted, should be moved to this system this weekend. All right, so let's get into the workshop and get that going. All right guys, welcome back. We're in the shop right now, so we're going to go over what we're going to do today. All right, I'm going to first start by talking about what I did, I should say, with my with the system originally. This used to be a deep water system, and what it would do is fill it with solution, have a these are aquarium bubblers, right? So they were hooked up to a pump, air pump, that would send air into the buckets. All right. The way it would work is that I would have multiple buckets with a hole in the top, which we're going to do today. That would accommodate the plant, right? And I would leave one bucket with nothing so that I could open it, refill using that bucket, and because the water would seek its own level, I would know from how much water I need in there, how much water is in the other buckets, all right? So we're gonna use the same principle today, all right? So this is gonna be a modified Kratky system in the sense that it's not just gonna be a bucket of nutrient solution with a hole at the top that's going to do just stand alone, which actually you can really easily do. So all you have to do is a bucket without even a hole. So a 5-gallon bucket at Home Depot, whatever, will do the trick, right? All you have to do is put holes in this, one or many, okay? Because I used to have different kind of plants that I would use with this, all right? So I finally chose this size, which is a 3-inch with a wide lip, okay? I used to do those 4-inch here. You can also do a 2.5. You can even do the little ones, the 1.5. The cool thing about the 1.5 is that you can put 5 of them, in this cover here. And you could grow maybe lettuce, maybe spinach, right? So those are all things you can do with the Kratky. Well, you can do anything with the Kratky, basically. Now, the reason I'm going back to the Kratky as opposed to the deep water system is that the Kratky is really a passive system. I don't have to have electrical input into the system, to feed an air pump, okay? The Kratky would take care, the Kratky system essentially will take care of the air, okay? And really what it is, it's really a bucket of solution, right? With the pot and the plant hanging right, so the water level should be right around the bottom of the pot here when you start, okay? And then as the plant grows, that solution is used by the plant, level drops. So the air that the plant needs is created by the level dropping, okay? And, and if you want a completely hands-off system, you can't really grow large plant with the system without refilling, a little bit the system. And when I say a little bit is that you can't refill these buckets to the top because then you starve the plant from getting air. Okay, so you can only keep the level, a third to 3/8 from the bottom. Okay, when the level reaches there, okay, the plant's large enough that it has a need for the air, layer that gets created inside this bucket. An additional thing I should say here is that I'm going to be growing the same kind of plant. Okay, I'm not going to have lettuce and peppers and whatever else. Okay, because I would think that the lettuce is going to probably be able, lettuce or spinach, right, can do just fine on its own without any additional water input here, because the plant have a shorter date to maturity that you can harvest them and all of that. So I'm going to be growing peppers in these things, okay? So my goal is to put all of them with 3-inch pots like that, probably 6 of them, and have a 7th bucket that's going to be my fill bucket. But that fill bucket, what I want to do here, I want to use a float valve, okay, to control the level in here. So what I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to be putting a float valve, and I kind of put the little mark here where the water level is, right? So about at this height, so that it, once those pots go down to this level, then water will be automatically added to the system, you know, without my intervention. And all I'm going to have to do with the system is just monitor the fill bucket, and it's not going to be like that. It's going to be on top of that. Okay, so that this one is full, it's going to inject water into the system to maintain the level. All right. So without further explanation, let's start building. That way you're going to see what I mean. All right. All right. So I brought you in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. So this float valve here is going to be hooked up to, this is a 1/2-inch NPT thread, okay? So I'm going to be using these adapter, which is 1/2-inch NPT to my 1/2-inch slip, all right? So, and they're going to go on each one of those thread, all right? The way this switch works, all right, is that water is going to be going in here, okay, and will either push this thing, the diaphragm, whatever it is in the mechanism here, to close the water from flowing this way, okay, and as the water level goes down to this line here, okay, it's going to open the flow of water going this way, all right? So what I'm going to try to do with this today, not try, I'm going to succeed, obviously, you know, otherwise I wouldn't film it. I'm going to be putting this, you know, in a place, okay? I'm going to try to fit it within this pipe here, okay? What I mean by that is I want the whole system to be external to the bucket so that I can monitor leaks. Because if I put it in the system and I don't monitor leaks, the whole top of the bucket here, which will hold the water, will just completely empty. So the way this is going to go, I'm going to have a bucket with a cover on it, okay? I'm going to have another bucket over it. This bucket will be at the same height as the growing bucket, okay? This will sit somewhere here, okay, where it's going to take the water from this. You see the arrow tells you that it's going this way now. I flipped it from when I showed you. So it's going to take water coming in. Now the trick here is going to be to place this valve at the right height so that this line right here is at my water level that my plant can live with, all right? So I'm going to be playing with all those fittings here and probably doing something along those lines here, okay, where it's going to go this way. It's going to hit a couple of T's at the bottom, okay, and again, this length is going to decide how low this is going to be with regards to that pipe here, right? So I'm going to put a couple of T's here and just hook this whole assembly up to the first pipe. So that way it's going to allow water from this going here and fill the whole system. And again, because of the gravity, water will seek its own level. And so wherever this bucket will be, you know, the line will actually dictate how far down I'm going to allow the liquid to be, right? Simple? Probably once I put it together, you're going to get a better idea. So let's start doing that. So yeah, so the critical part here, first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to screw these things on the valve here with Teflon tape here, all right? So the way you put these things on, you know, you put your finger, right? Tunk. The threads are this, the thread go this way, but the way you wrap the tape around is going like this, okay? That's how you can figure out all the time which side to wrap your thread. So I'm gonna wrap them clockwise. Because if you don't wrap them the right way, what's going to happen is that as you're going to put the fitting, the threaded fitting on it, whether it's one of those adapter or just even a, you know, a hose bib or whatever it is, right? If you're going to use threads and you're going to put tape, silicone, Teflon tape on there, you want to have it in a direction where, as you're going to do this, you know, you're going to screw it on, it's going to make the tape. So you see how the tape is like that here? Okay, so as I do this, it keeps wanting to wrap the tape as opposed to unroll it. That's why you do it this way. And you're going to find when I build this, I'm not going to use any cement, okay, because the system is not under pressure, so just slip fitting them tightly is enough to keep it watertight. All right, so let's start with this. So what I want to do here is determine how high I want to keep my water level here, and I think, you know, around here is going to be a good thing, okay, because if you think about from the top here, I should have this to start with being air, all right, because you think about this spot being there, so the bottom's going to be right here, so the water level is probably going to be right under the slip here, all right. So by measuring that, all right, I'm going to say to you that, all right, so this should be around a good place to be about 2/3 of the way down, okay, no more. So this is about where I want this line to be, which means that I only have a little bit of connection here to do, if at all, right? So let's do it this way then, and kind of see where we are. Yeah, so, yeah, it looks about right, actually. Maybe a little higher, because I'm looking at about 12-inch from there to there, okay? And this line sits at 9 right now, which puts it 3/4 of the way down, right? So I probably want it at 8. So I'm going to put an extra inch between this and this, okay? And I'm going to be at the right height. All right, so let's start there. All right, so what I want to do now is take the outtake. So you see my little arrow here, okay? Points this way. So water is going to flow from here, out here, and the valve is here, okay? So what I want to do now is have something, right, that hooks it back down. And what I mean by that is that now this has to go down, and it has to hook up somewhere like this. Not bad, not bad at all. All right. So now this will fit in between. You can clearly see how it's going to go, right? So now all I need is to take my feeding bucket, okay? Get it down to a, well, actually, here's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is just trying to make sure that I have the right height here. Okay, so I'm going to just do this for now, just so that it maintains the right height here. And what I want now is to get down from there into this, okay? So I clearly need to push it a little bit this way so that it fits. All right, so this is it. All right, so this is what we're going to do with this. All right, guys, so this is the whole system ready to be installed. So I have six buckets, all right, that will be growing stuff with the 3-inch hole on top. And these are my buckets that will control the flow. All right, and with the little apparatus here that we just built. All right, so let's go see where they go. Hey guys, so we're back in the greenhouse. This is the area that I want to put that system in. I've put my 2 blocks, leveled it. All right, so using my level, everything is nice and level. So now all I'm going to do is bring the system in. All right. All right, so here's the system. All right, so I have all my fittings here. Okay, I cut all of the little nipples, if you wish, on my chop saw, just like I did with this system here. So now it's just a matter of assembling everything and putting it to the test. All right, so let's do that. Yeah, the reason I put them all on my chop saw is so that I get a consistent length for them. My chop saw is much better at, you know, obviously cutting stuff. All right, so all that's left now is connecting them all together. All right, so what we're going to do right now is test that this system actually works. So I'm going to fill this all the way to the top, okay, until it overflows. All right, and I'm going to get out of the way here so you can see that because the level is not achieved yet in the growing bucket, so you can see how the level goes down right now. So it was flush with the top, and now we're basically ½ an inch down. So this float valve is not for a super high volume, all right? But it will do the job just fine over here, all right? So that is pretty much the acid test. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let it be. I'm going to keep refilling it, all right, until it stops going down. So essentially telling me the level you know, of the little line, if you recall, on the float switch, is going to be the level that my buckets would be at. All right, so I'm not going to put you through this, you know, I'm just going to show you in a minute when it's done. All right, guys, so no more water is dripping from the bucket here. All right, so let me take you in here. All right, so this is full, right? So now if we look inside, that is the level that all these buckets are at, right? And it's going to stay like that, all right, as long as there's water in the main bucket there. So obviously, to start them off, I'm going to fill them all the way to the bottom of the 3-inch pot I'm going to use. I'll take you through that when I get there, all right. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is where we're at. All right, system is operational. Difficult to say if there's leak over there because there's water everywhere, so just going to leave it alone a little bit here so that I can assess that when things dry up. All right, guys, so system number 2 in the books. We're probably next weekend going to be planting the peppers that I showed you earlier. But yeah, this is ready to go. All right. Next system is going to be the lettuce, and I'll take you through that probably in the next couple of days. All right. Hope this was helpful to you. If you liked it, you know, give me a like, and I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.